And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Both presidential candidates are vying for the votes of young voters out there, a key demographic that could make a difference in the outcome of the election this year. Factor photographers James Costello and John Starling joined me at the University of Houston to speak with young voters who could also be considered the so-called bro vote. When you guys think about the upcoming presidential election, and of course we have other races that will be important to many of the people who vote, what do you guys see as the most important issue this election cycle, Lorenzo?
Housing. You know, I work in a housing field, and I constantly hear Houstonians, and it's across the board. When you look at income gaps or anything, I mean, housing is just the most important issue. I think this election combined with diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, you know. I think
well, now that's a dirty word or a dirty term.
Oh, okay.
So do you think there is room for that now?
I do think there is room for that. I don't think it's too dirty. I just think it's providing a space for everyone and lifting up all voices.
All right, and you, Cullen, your thoughts, what's the most important issue this election for you?
For me, and I think for a lot of people, the most important issue is the economy. We're coming off, what, about 4 or 5 years post-COVID, and yet we're still seeing a lot of effects. Inflation, a lot of people lost their jobs and still haven't got them back. So this is an issue that's not just affecting the federal level, but also state and local level. So I think a lot of people are going to be going to the ballot box with the economy on their mind because it affects all of us. It does not discriminate at all.
All right, Alex, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what both of them said, but to me, education is the #1 most important thing. I think making sure that our public education system is well funded and has good resources to be able to educate the generations of tomorrow. As a college student, I know education is extremely important in my life, and I just really want to see people turn out and vote and really be sure that they're well educated on the subject matter and civic education.
When it comes to the presidential candidates that we have before us, have you guys decided, Chad? And what are your thoughts on both of those candidates?
Yes, sir, I've decided I'm with Kamala Harris, and I think that she's...
And one of her key issues is housing.
Yes, it is. And and one criticism that I believe people do have of her is immigration, but I do believe that she will improve, secure our borders. I think it's important, but I also think it's important that we provide an easy pathway to citizenship. So I am sticking with Harris.
All right, Cullen, your thoughts?
Yeah, I've decided as well. I am going to be voting for Donald Trump, but he's not perfect, nor is any candidate perfect, and it's important for everyone to understand that every candidate has their positives and their negatives. So I'm not a blind supporter of him. He does have his issues, but as I said with the economy, I feel like he's the best candidate to tackle the economic issues that we've had under Biden. But as I always tell everyone, yes, I'm a Republican, but I support any candidate because they're going in the arena and they're putting themselves out there, and I respect that for anyone.
Is it regretful that you sometimes have to defend your candidate because of who he is and what he does?
Yes, sir, but it's all part of being a supporter, whether it's a party or a candidate. You have to defend yourself, but you also have to sometimes prove a point. So it does suck sometimes, but I'm willing to do it. It's all part of the process.
All right, Alex?
Yes, in this election, I have in fact decided to vote for Kamala Harris. I've done extensive research on both parties' platforms and have just decided that Kamala Harris speaks more to me as a voter, and I agree wholeheartedly with her platforms and her different policy initiatives.
And so are you guys nervous about this election cycle? You're anticipating it? What are your thoughts, any one of you?
Hopeful and nervous because I'm hoping the Democrats are going to turn out, but I'm also, you know, I'm very hopeful that we can turn the page on divisiveness and look towards a new path for America.
All right. Your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. Regardless of how it turns out, it's great to see democracy in action, and that's at the end of the day, that's what I care about. And seeing all these people going out to vote, it's a beautiful thing. It's quite a beautiful thing. So, like Lorenzo said, it's going to be interesting to see how this new chapter looks after this upcoming election. But I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Excited, Alex?
I would agree. I'm also quite excited, quite hopeful. It's definitely amazing to see all these people turning out to vote, especially us young people who generally don't have a great voter turnout. It's really amazing seeing the energy behind this election and seeing the amazing things we've been able to accomplish.